Good day everyone, we are the Group 5 and our topic is about challenging situations and common ethical dilemmas. For the first reporter, Mr. Miko Villarreal.
Nepotism and favoritism. So, one of the most common things in the hospitality industry ay ang nepotism at favoritism. So, ito yung pagkakaroon ng relatives sa isang industry. So, dahil nga may connection ka or relative sa isang industry, mas mapapabilis ngayon yung pag-hire or pagpo-promote ng position. So, nababaliwala dito yung mga skills, experience, yung hard work at dedication nung isang individual. So, yung mga deserving sa position na mas mataas is hindi nila nauunahan sila nung mga may connection. At napapapunta sa position na yun ay yung mga hindi deserving talaga. Conflicts of interest. So, sa conflicts of interest, dito napasok yung ating personal na buhay at yung professional work. So, dapat magkahiwala yung personal sa professional. So, for example is, nagkaroon tayo ng personal problem, medyo mabigat. So, yung tapos ipamasok tayo sa work, yung utak natin, wala dun sa work, na dun sa personal. So, hihilahin tayo pababa nung personal problem. Tapos, mababawasan ngayon yung production natin. What if malaking pera pa yung hawak natin? Pag may nawala sa ganun, sa atin ang sisi. Dahil sa wala tayo sa sarili magtrabaho, mas lalong malaking problema yung napunta sa atin dahil lang dun sa pagiging wala natin sa isip sa trabaho. Sexual harassment. So, sobrang common din ito sa hospitality industry, lalo na sa mga babae na naka-skirt or mga naka-fit na pants na hinaharas sila ng ibang mga kalalakihan. Then, dito nawawala yung moral nila mag-work. So, tatama rin sila sa trabaho dahil sa harassment na nangyari. Then, mawalan yung business ngayon, mawawalan ng productivity. Tapos, mababawasan ng customer dahil lang sa pagkawala ng moral ng employees. So, dapat respect natin ang mga babae. Grapevine, rumor mongering, intriguing against honor. So, ito yung gossip or chismis na ikinakalat sa isang organization. Ang tendency nito is pag may siyempre yung taong pinag-uusapan, mawalan siya ng tiwala sa mga katrabaho niya. Tapos mawala din yung teamwork, yung cooperation ng taong yun, bababa yung trust, then bababa ulit yung moral sa trabaho. Hindi siya magiging productive sa work. Then, pwedeng bumaba ang sales kapag hindi productive ang isang tao sa trabaho. Slander. So, paggagawa to ng false statement para masira yung reputasyon ng isang tao. So, ito yung malimito sa politics. So, gagawan ka ng false statement, kunwaring nagnakaw kahit wala namang crime na ginagawa, ay ng slander. So, pagkalat ng mga gossip na hindi mo namang ginawa na nakakasira ng reputation. Libel. So, ito yung pagpapublish ng maling statement para ma-damage yung reputasyon ng isang tao. So, yung kanina, slander, ginagamitan siya ng oral. Ngayon naman, pinapublish siya in public. So, pwedeng sa poster, pwedeng sa evaluation, pwedeng reviews, ano pa ba, social media, ayan. Sinisira yung reputasyon ng isang tao sa pagpapublish ng maling statement. Then, may 4 elements ang libel. There must be a defamatory imputation. There must be publication of the libelous matter. The person libeled is identifiable. And lastly, there is the presence of malice on the part of the offender. Cyber libel. So, same as libel. Publication ng false statement para masira yung reputasyon ng isang tao. Pero, with the use of internet, social media platforms, or other digital communication channels, grave threat. So, ito yung pag-threaten ng isang tao para lang mabawasan yung honor ng isang tao, or pwede siyang manghingi ng kapalit sa pagte-threaten. It can be financial, sexual, or other things. Then, sa pagte-threat, pwedeng dinadamay ang pamilya. Acts of lasciviousness. So, dito, gumagawa ka ng physical contact or nangahawak sa body part ng isang tao para lang ma-fulfill yung sexual pleasure ng isang tao without the intention of having sexual intercourse. So it can be also identified as sexual harassment or attempted rape dahil sa paghawak sa body part ng isang tao without the consent.
For the next reporter, Miss Diana Rose Tolosa.
The next one is the union busting. Union busting is when the employees form a group or union or labor union against their company or against their manager. And when the company finds about it, they will turn it down, or they will turn your union down, or your union is being busted. For an instance, you are working in a restaurant, specifically as a kitchen steward, and you witness that your manager is power tripping, or he or she abuse his power. And you try to talk to your coworkers. Kinausap mo yung mga coworkers mo para i-call out yung manager nyo na nag-a-abuse ng power. Pero nung nalaman nyo ng manager nyo, ikaw ngayon ang pinatawag ng HR at ikaw ngayon ang makakatanggap ng disciplinary action. That is union busting. Na-bust nila yung union na ginagawa nyo. The next slide is about the mutiny. Mutiny is about resistance in obeying the person with higher authority than you. And the reason can be you don't feel safe or secure with that person, or you just personally don't like him or her. And the main reason can be that you question their credibility to be in that position, kaya you don't feel to obey them. Kasi kino-question mo nga kung paano siya napunta sa position niya, kung pa siya mas mataas sa'yo, kaya pinili mong wag sumunod sa kanya. That is mutiny. Next one is very common ethical dilemma, which is the disobedience. And as we know, disobedience is despite of knowing the policies, procedures, and standards, you still didn't follow them. And that is disobedience because you refuse or neglect to obey the policy or the supervisor. Next is we have the poaching clients and employees. Basically, it is just contacting the highly skilled employee from the other company to work for you by offering them more benefits and higher salary. And now we have the bad-mouthing clients, competitors, and previous employers. It is a act of criticizing someone or something in an unpleasant manner. For example, nasa interview ka for your new job. Tapos natanong sa'yo yung reason mo kung bakit ka aalis or bakit ka umalis sa previous job mo. And ang sinagot mo is pang-badmouth or pagrereklamo mo sa dati mong employer, yung pagrereklamo mo na hindi mo gusto yung ganito, hindi mo gusto yung ganan, hindi mo gusto yung pamamalakad ni manager, ni company. Ayun yung sinagot mo sa pinag-a-applyan mo. There is a high possibility na hindi ka tatanggapin ng pinag-a-applyan mo because you badmouth your previous employer or your previous job, because kung nagawa mo yun dun sa dati mong pinagtatrabahuhan, hindi malayo na gagawin mo yun ngayon sa pagtatrabahuhan mo bago. The next slide is about the manipulation of colleagues. It is a controlling someone to your advantage, which is unfair and dishonest, and it can trigger conflict in your workplace. Dirty politics is about being in a different group in a workplace and being against each other. And other than that, the dirty politics can also be about the abuse of power and authority to people that is usually motivated by greed. Kasi gusto mo maging mas magaling sa kanila, gusto mo maging mas mataas sa kanila, gusto mo maging mas magaling kaysa sa kanila. Next one is the passing the buck or the blame game. It is avoiding on taking responsibility and passing it to others. Ito yung sinisisi mo sa iba yung isang pagkakamali na dapat ay inaako mo. Kasi responsibility mo yun. For example, in a catering event, ang trabaho mo ay i-check yung mga dishes na lumalabas, kung malinis ba yun, kung maayos ba yun, kung tama ba yun. Pero dahil madami yung tao, madami yung mga dishes na lumalabas, meron kang mga nakakaligtaan na tingnan. And something happened. Yung isang dish ay merong human hair and nakita yun nung kakainon. So, nagreklamo yung kakainon. And instead of taking responsibility and having a accountability na nakaligtaan mo ang i-check yun na hindi lahat na lumalabas ay chine-check mo. Ang ginawa mo, sinisi mo yun dun sa nag-serve. Sinisi mo yun dun sa nag-serve na baka sa kanya galing yung human hair kasi chinek mo naman. That is passing the buck or blame game. Isinisisi mo sa iba yung isang pagkakamali na dapat ay inaako mo. And now we have the profanity and vulgarity. It is using a offensive language, also known as bad words, such as cursing and swearing, or kung tawagin sa atin ay pagmumura, which leads on impression of being impolite, rude, or culturally offensive. And the other reasons para magmura tayo ay to express anger, frustration, or we are having a emotional outburst, or plainly you just have a habitual expression of swearing. But swearing and being vulgar at workplace will show a being unprofessional.
Next reporter, Miss Jubilin Lyron.
Rudeness or disrespect is about being rude or disrespectful to someone, unpleasant to someone, mostly by using verbal abuse. Sa industry natin, madalas natin itong makita or madalas itong mangyari sa customer kapag may complaint sila, may hindi sila gusto, or hindi nasunod. Example ng pagiging rudeness is raising the tone of voice, shouting, or pagtalikod habang kinakausap. Mediocrity refers to a state or quality of being average, ordinary, or moderate quality. In the hospitality industry, there comes a time when an establishment needs to cut costs to stay in business. That's where the problem of mediocrity comes along. The manager or maybe even the owner might decide to downgrade some of the services or products they are providing for their customers. This greatly reduce the quality of the experience that tourism or travelers will have when staying in the establishment with mediocre products and services.
Next is complacency and lethargy. It's a state of self-satisfaction or contentment with one's current situation, achievements, or circumstances, to the extent that it can lead to a lack of motivation or a failure to recognize and address potential problems or challenges. When there's been a long period of time where no major problem has occurred in the restaurant, the workers might start to feel a little complacent. This is due to the lack of danger or threat that is in the environment. Not having any problems isn't a bad thing, although it may lead to overconfidence when it comes to checking the safety of the workplace or the food that is being served to the customers. This attitude may cause some major problems like food poisoning because of the lack of inspection due to complacency. Next is alcoholism. Alcoholism is about addiction on alcohol, wherein a person can no longer control the use of alcohol. On our industry, it is quite common to be exposed to alcoholism kasi we're in the variety of food and beverages. Sa hotel, resorts, event center, that is most of them are offering alcoholic beverages. An example na pwedeng mangyari is hindi ka productive, always late sa trabaho, and not be conditioned to work.
Drug use and drug trafficking, use of dangerous substance that has effects in employer productivity, health, and safety issues. Drugs are dangerous substances that should not be used in public area because it can lead to unwanted activities. Workers must keep an eye out on drug usage on the premises to avoid any trouble or damage to the establishment's reputation. The business must also not fail to prepare countermeasure against customers or workers using drugs in the area. Sa hospitality management, ang mga illegal or dangerous drugs ay common lamang. Nakakaapekto ito sa pag-iisip ng tao at maaari magdulot ng masamang epekto sa taong gumagamit at sa mga taong nakapaligid ng gumagamit. Mga drugs like marijuana, cocaine, or alcohol ay normal na makikita sa mga bar or club. Kailangan marunong mag-handle ang mga employees pag may nangyaring kaguluhan, pag may threat gawa ng drugs, need din na hindi matempt or mag-drug traffic ang mga employees. Assault and physical injury is an act by one or more persons that creates an apprehension in another of imminent harmful or offensive contact. Sa industry natin, ang pinaka-important rule is bawal natin saktan ng customer kasi bababa yung reputation ng hotel or ng establishment. Bawal ka din makipag-away sa fellow employees mo. Then dapat marunong ka mag-handle ng mga customer na nangaaway para makip ang peace sa paligid at hindi matakot at maging pangit ang experience ng ibang customer. Gambling is the act of participating in games, activities, or events in which one risks money or valuables in an outcome that is largely dependent on chance, with the hope of winning additional money or prizes. Some hospitality establishments may offer some gambling services that customer can enjoy while they stay. This may be a good addition, but some certain problems may arise when giving gambling services to the customers that have a low temper or a bad attitude. This is why hospitality businesses must be prepared in case of any violence or trouble occurs because of gambling.
Next is tardiness. Tardiness refers to the quality or state of being late or delayed, especially in relation to a scheduled event, appointment, or deadline. This is one of the most common dilemmas that occurs in almost every hospitality management. It may occur because due to employees being untrained or being overworked. Whatever the reason may be, tardiness must be solved because not only will it ruin the quality of services that will be given to the customer, but it may also result in a loss of profit.
Next reporter is Mr. Paulo Luis Obal.
Number 27, absenteeism. Ito yung kadalasang pagliban ng walang dahilan or kung sa trabaho, tinatawag itong AWOL or absent without official leave. Number 28, malingering. Ito yung kadalasang pagdadahilan ng may karamdaman upang makaliban sa trabaho at makakuha ng mga benepisyo. Number 29, gross negligence. Ito yung pagiging walang ingat na maaaring makasira o makaapekto sa mga ari-arian o buhay ng ibang tao. Number 30, coercion. Ito yung pagpwersa sa ibang tao na gawin yung mga bagay na hindi nila gusto sa pamamagitan ng pananakot. Number 31, types of bullying. Meron tayong 4 na bahagi ng bullying. Number 1 dito ay yung physical bullying. Ito yung physical na pananakit sa ibang tao. Kunyari, pagsuntok sa balikat ng walang dahilan. Verbal and written bullying. Ito yung pagsasabi ng hindi magaganda sa ibang tao na nakakasakit sa kanilang damdamin. O ang written bullying naman ay ang pagsusulat ng masasakit na salita tapos ibibigay dun sa victim. Social bullying. Ito naman yung pambubully sa pamamagitan ng social media. Or pagpo-post ng kung ano-ano na nakakasira sa ibang tao. Number 32, blackmailing. Ito yung paggamit ng isang larawan upang pagbayarin ng biktima para hindi ilabas yung larawan. Moonlighting. Ito naman yung pagtatrabaho ng 2 trabaho sa isang araw upang makakuha ng extra income. Kunyari, waiter ka sa umaga tapos bartender ka sa gabi. 34, unsanitary practices. Ito naman yung hindi paggawa ng personal hygiene. Kagaya ng paghuhugas ng kamay pagtapos mag-CR or paghawak sa pagkain kung sa maduduming mga bagay.